It's 2023, baby! Another year of Paleobites. Another year of awesomeness. Unless, for whatever reason, I decide to put this show on indefinite hiatus like I did with my other show, The Ritwit. You never know. This show is not my income. This show does not make a profit, guys. I do this as a hobby. But if you'd like the show to make a profit, you could subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/MatthewDonald. There you can find bonus content for Paleobites, a little bit for the Ritwit, but mostly Paleobites. We usually discuss pop culture featuring prehistoric animals for the Paleobites Patreon. And this month we're talking about, once again, everyone's favorite dinosaur movie, Pacific Rim. They said that the Kaiju trial one was the dinosaur, so it counts. And yes, we talked about this last January, but we're talking about it again this January. And every January from here on out. Because, damn it, it's an awesome movie, it's my favorite movie, and it's the best dinosaur movie of all time. So check it out. Links in the description where you can sign up to the Patreon. Thank you for your support. Have a lovely day and a wonderful and happy new year!
Roar, growl, snarl, bellow.
Welcome to Paleobites, the podcast that X-stinks. Like that joke. My name's Matthew Don. Each week I and a rotating series of guest co-hosts talk about and rate a genus of prehistoric animal, be it dinosaur, mammal, arthropod, and so on. This week I'm joined by someone who does not extinct, but the animal they're dog sitting kind of does.
Hello, my name is Laura.
It's Laura Owsley. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. No, we were just finished watching a Netflix special. During the middle of it, I smelt something, and right when she was sitting on my lap, yep, and no tail, so the butthole was just right there.
Yeah. She is the sweetest little dog, but those farts are toxic.
Yep.
So I'm glad you got to sample a little bit of what I have to deal with.
Yep.
All night long.
Yep, got to finally relate to see what you deal with.
Yeah.
You say all night long. Does she sleep in the bed with you?
Yep. That she does. She loves to curl up under the covers with you. And she puts her butt directly in front of your face. It's fantastic.
It sounds fantastic.
Yeah. I'm on a 9-day pet sitting stint of this lovely stinky lady.
Oh, well, hopefully they pay you well.
They do.
That's good. I mean, find out that most jobs, especially in this economy, because corporations don't want to pay you. They gotta save all that money for like their third or fourth yacht.
Of course.
For their
and that's
yacht,
important stuff.
their yacht armada. But the people who actually pay you well tend to be just people. Like
right, totally.
Nannies get paid amazingly well. Babysitters, like pet sitting. That seems to be the most lucrative fields out there.
It can be. The problem is they're not very consistent.
No, that is the problem. But
although I say that, I was recently pet sitting for about 7 days over Christmas.
Yeah.
And then I took 5 days to go visit a friend of mine. And then I am now pet sitting on a 9-day stint.
Right.
So
then after that, we'll just see. It is nice to have more reliable work, but at the same time, this is nice, I guess. Yeah. My good friend Christina, she definitely does. She house sitting for like dogs and also rabbits.
It's nice to get a break from my roommate's face once in a while.
Yeah, your roommate. I think I've seen them once or twice. So I could see when again. No, I'm just kidding. I want a roommate from that break from that face.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, no.
Laura's roommate. I forget your name. If you're listening, hi. You have a great face.
Jesse, we tolerate each other now.
Tolerate, yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so. If you had to stick a dinosaur onto your roommate, onto Jesse, which one?
See, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
So right now we're on pretty good terms. Like neither of us.
So you
really...
want to give him like a nice dinosaur?
Yeah. So I think that it would be more kind. Like, what's like the largest carnivorous dinosaur that comes to your brain first?
Wow, this shows what a nerd I am. Meraxes.
Perfect. So I would definitely stick a Meraxes on him. That way, at least it's like a quick death.
Yeah,
right?
It's like a big 45-foot-long meat eater from South America. Normally I think like T-Rex, but not.
No.
Not even like a Giganotosaurus or something. No, Meraxes.
He's a hipster,
yeah.
Right? So at least I'm doing him the privilege of being eaten alive by a dinosaur not a lot of people have heard of.
It was just described last year in 2022. It was named after a dragon, apparently, in A Song of Ice and Fire. It was not in Game of Thrones. It was just in the books. But
interesting. Hey.
Well, maybe it'll show up in House of the Dragon. I don't know. I'm not watching it.
I'm not watching it either.
Did you ever watch Game of Thrones?
No.
Nah, I never got into it either.
I tried, and then at that point, I only watched, I watched one episode that my friend showed me, and at the beginning of the episode, they showed this, minor spoilers, I couldn't even tell you what season of Game of Thrones this is. They showed this adorable little girl, and I'm like, I've never seen Game of Thrones, but I know enough to say that girl is not going to survive.
Nope. Unless it's Arya Stark that you saw.
End of the episode, she's burned alive at the stake.
I get you. And I know some people like that. It's like, oh, I like this because it's unlike other fantasies. It's more realistic and grounded. I'm like, but it's called fantasy.
Yeah. Well, that's also a thing with fantasy sometimes. Is that, I feel like, and I know I'm talking to an author, right?
But some science fantasy books, so yes.
Right. Sometimes I feel like with fantasy books, they're like, oh no, we have to make this gritty and realistic. So we're going to depict these awful things of the human experience.
And I'm like, I read this to escape this stuff.
Right, exactly. There's a great tweet I saw the other day that said, if your defense for some horrific thing happening to this character in a fantasy book is because it's realistic, ask yourself, does any character in this book also get diarrhea?
That's the thing. Do they
it's realistic.
Take a moment to go to the bathroom. I've even wondered, sometimes for these things, do the characters eat?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times I'm say maybe they do, but they did beforehand. For a big battle, do they 10 minutes in, they're like, okay, can we take a ceasefire? I need a drink of water.
Sure. Some of the great literary works spend pages describing food.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, when you're hungry, I could go on tangents upon tangents of good food.
I just realized how hungry I am. We have 5 episodes to go,
whoop, whoop.
So I guess we could take a break in the middle. But
yeah, I was gonna say, I am not a great host because I don't tend to keep a lot of snacks around because I am the type of person who realizes okay, if I have a lot of snacks, I won't eat real food.
Yes. I get that. That's actually precisely the reason why I don't have snacks. I eat my meals and then that's it.
See, that's where I am at because otherwise I will just gorge myself.
Cool.
On chips and
order
salsa.
some food or something at 2 or so episodes in.
Right.
Maybe some Mussaurus burgers. And speaking of which, flawless segue.
Flawless segue. So the Mussaurus burger, what kind of restaurant would that be served in?
A Jurassic pork.
That was pretty good, I'll give you that.
We're talking about Mussaurus. It means mouse lizard. Type, it is a sauropodomorph, a group of early sauropods we used to call prosauropods, but that's not accurate currently. It's not PC anymore. Only they can call each other that, so don't you dare say that. Okay. Size, we used to think it was only 4 feet / 1.1 meters long.
Right.
But now we
mouse
know
lizard.
Yeah, but now we know it was 19 to 21 feet / 5.9 to 63 meters long and 2,200 to pounds or 1,000 kilograms.
Maybe not quite the little Tom and Jerry type mouse.
Biggest mouse I've ever seen.
But it could be one of those gigantic mice statues or something.
Oh, okay. Or is it there's probably an episode of Tom and Jerry or whatever.
I was gonna say,
where they one of them gets some steroids. Probably not Tom and Jerry, but some sort of performance enhancing drug
episode.
Where the mouse gets bigger than the cat.
Right.
Because
Anywho, mouse lizard. What did they eat?
They're herbivores, most longnecks, and all longnecks. It lived in the early Jurassic, 198 to 192 million years ago. Okay, location Argentina. So many dinosaurs from Argentina, man. You stub your toe in Argentina, it's probably a dinosaur bone.
Why are there so many dinosaurs in Argentina?
I don't know. It's just the rock formations are just good. They've been pushed up a lot. I don't know.
I was figuring something about Pangea.
Yeah, well, it's just because there's all these formations where the rocks are a certain number. So a lot of ways we know when certain fossils are is with the formation that they're found in, and that formation has been pushed up by. So but then also it depends on where, because some formations are really close to. If you go Dinosaur Ridge, you can see the different formations. The way that have you ever been to Dinosaur Ridge?
I was gonna say, can I confess something?
You've never been to Dinosaur Ridge. Okay, so as well as the gift shop down there, if you go up the mountain, on one side there are these footprints and all that stuff, amazing stuff, and they're from the Cretaceous. You go around the mountain, you can actually see where the cliffs are, that the layers go on top of each other, and the other layer is the Jurassic layer. So, and it's different older rock. So
interesting.
So yeah.
Well, that's our new podcast spinoff. Is where we just go to Dinosaur Ridge.
They sell my book at the gift shop.
Hey,
So,
I think I knew that.
Yeah. And I don't know if they sell it anymore, but I might see if they can sell it there again because I'm going to get the covers changed soon.
Hey,
Yeah. To my new cover artist who did my book Tesla-Nauts is going to do this. So.
nice.
It was described in 1979. Pop culture appearances, they appeared in the, let me just check my notes to see if this is right, the 11th Land Before Time movie.
Wow.
Called Invasion of the Tinosauruses, where they were the titular Tinosauruses. What an esteemed appearance.
Honestly, like, to make it in Land Before Time 11?
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty impressive.
By that point, you know it's not a cash grab. They're doing it for the love.
No, absolutely.
They're doing it for the love of the art.
Yeah, their heart is still in it by that point.
Also,
we've recorded a Patreon-only episode of Land Before Time.
Yeah, not of the sequels, though. We're still yet to threaten those.
Well, we have to make it through all 11 sequels.
Oh, God. One of the later ones has a song by Reba McEntire as a pterodactyl.
Woof.
Okay. So
it's going to be great. It's
going
to be great, folks. Subscribe to Patreon to hear us suffer through that.
The 7th one has aliens.
Oh, boy.
The rainbow snout dinosaurs.
Amazing. This is going to be the best.
Okay. Also, they're in the Lost World book by Michael Crichton, the 1995 sequel to Jurassic Park. All right, so long-necked dinosaurs, more formally as sauropods, were big. That's their whole gimmick. They don't have the armor of ankylosaurs, the plates of stegosaurs, the claws of therizinosaurs, or the frills of ceratopsians. Their long necks, even given their nickname, aren't terribly unique either, as therizinosaurs, ornithomimids, and even some stegosaurs have had some rather long necks too. Long whip-like tails. Certain ornithopod dinosaurs like Lineosaur and Tenontosaurus, I'm sure this is all making perfect sense to you, also had those. And what's more, they're even longer proportions to their bodies than any long neck. So the sauropod's entire gimmick, the thing that separates them from other plant-eating dinosaurs, is their massive size, evolving into the largest land animals of all time and even some of the largest animals ever, barring whales and a few other enormous Triassic ichthyosaurs. But here's the thing, not all long necks were big. In fact, some are quite small. For a while, the smallest was good old Mussaurus, also known as the mouse lizard. So this was a teeny tiny long neck, a tiny sauros, as the 11th Land Before Time movie so eloquently called it. We only got to about 4 feet in length, which is about the same as a medium-sized dog.
So that was debunked, right? That they only grew to 4 feet?
Well, that's the thing. Here, usually you can tell when it's a juvenile, when it's an adult. But for some reason, I guess paleontologists were too transfixed by how cute it was. Like, this must be how they all were. Because, like, it had large eye sockets and a relatively large head, which is very cute, but also very, usually also indicative of juveniles.
I was going to say, like, babies have gigantic heads in proportion to the rest of their bodies.
Right. It's just like, it's a little bitty baby, and it turns out exactly what it was, because they have rings within them like tree trunks, like what bones do. And there are numerous other methods, far more complicated than I'm even going to begin to describe or look up, honestly, how you can tell whether it's a baby or an adult. But it wasn't until 2013, over 30 years after Mussaurus was initially described, that we formally described the first adult specimens, which were upwards of 20 feet long and close to a ton of weight.
See, you know what this reminds me of is that episode of Avatar, The Last Airbender, where Sokka gets, like, stuck in the ground and there's that, like, moose hybrid thing. And he's like, oh, it's so cute, it's so small, it's so fun. And then the mama comes out of nowhere and the mama's like gigantic.
Can I admit something? I've never seen Avatar The Last Airbender.
This is blasphemy. Actually, we're getting Matt Donald canceled.
Look, I have heard nothing but amazing things about it.
It's a fantastic...
It's almost to the point where I don't want to watch it, because it's like, it can't live up to the hype. You know how a lot of people felt about Blue People Avatar? That's how I feel about this Avatar. It's like too many people are... There are 3 movies this year that everyone has on their best of 2022. Well, should I say last year? Because it's 2023 now. Damn it. Ugh. But the top 3 movies everyone had on their list of 2022 were Top Gun Maverick, The Batman, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
So good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Like,
I probably shouldn't into anybody else's, like, favorite movie ever, but, like, I guess I'm not a huge Batman person.
Well, the new Batman was just
Gun
like...
person.
The new Batman, it looked like Take Me Seriously, Mom, the movie.
Well, my problem with the new Batman movie was that it was like, first of all, it was too long.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Right.
And a slow 3 hours, too.
Yes.
At least Avengers Endgame was like a quick and breezy 3 hours.
But, like, you easily could have taken out chunks
I've
of
heard.
that movie.
Even people who like that movie have told me exactly that. And I'm like, it just screams to me, it's like a director being like, look at my big dick movie.
It does feel very Michael Bay-esque in the sense that you're like, oh, okay, this is the climax. No? Okay.
Yep.
This is a climax. Oh, nope. It's not yet.
Also, this is a tangential note that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. This is how it always goes. Batman, to me, is only interesting in the fact that he has no powers when he's teamed up with other superheroes with powers. Because, like, the whole gimmick of him not having superpowers, for some reason, a lot of filmmakers, and like Christopher Nolan back in the day and Matt Reeves now, like, the whole world should not have superpowers. It should be gritty and realistic. But Batman, to me, and clearly a lot of people disagree, the Justice League is full of gods. You've got Superman, you've got Wonder Woman, you've got Green Lantern, who has like cosmic power, you got Flash, who runs so fast he can travel through time. The fact that Batman can stand toe to toe with them, despite being a man, that's what makes him interesting to me.
That's fair.
And so I don't like all these movies that are like, we're taking out all the other stuff, and he's just fighting other people without superpowers.
I feel like a lot of people think that makes him more like a quote-unquote realistic superhero, or like a more relatable one. But who among us just has casually a couple $1 billion lying around?
Exactly. Also, the fact that, like, especially now in today's society where so many more people are turning against capitalism, why are we celebrating this billionaire? This trust fund billionaire. He inherited all this money, too.
Like, it's true. So, question for you then.
Yes.
Help me out with the name here.
Yes.
Mussaurus?
Mussaurus.
If Mussaurus was a sidekick to any Batman villain, which Batman villain would he be a sidekick
Okay,
to?
not Poison Ivy, because Poison Ivy is all about plants.
Yeah, no.
He could be one for the Mad Hatter. But to be fair, anyone could, because Mad Hatter has mind control technology.
See, that's interesting.
Joker has teamed up with a T-Rex once in the Lego Batman movie.
Well, there you go. He's got a history there with the dinosaurs.
Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think. And also Velociraptors in that movie too. So,
hey,
Lego Raptors. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Maybe the penguin.
See, that was my first thought. I think it's the size.
Yeah.
But like the penguin would have gotten the dinosaur as a baby and been like, perfect. It's like a Dr. Evil cat.
Plus, I could just Oswald Cobblepot, with his hat, and then giving the Mussaurus a little hat to like.
See, that I would pay to see. If we had a 3-hour Batman movie where the penguin had a dinosaur and a top hat as its sidekick, I'd pay to see.
Top hat and a bow tie, like penguin suits,
See, I'm here for that. For that.
Also, I'm trying to. I don't think there's. I mean, Batman has a ton of villains. That's what happens when you don't kill anyone. You get a bunch of villains.
That's fair. Well, I think that's what makes Batman more interesting is the villains that he goes against. I was about to say the dinosaurs he goes up against.
Hey, I'm sure he's gone off against 1 or 2 dinosaurs back in the day.
Probably in one of those spin-offs.
Yeah. Like Mussaurus. And speaking of which, here's the thing, though. So I said that it wasn't until 2013 when we officially described Mussaurus as being that size, but it turns out we've had adult specimens of Mussaurus before this in 1980. But the problem is they were initially attributed to the genus Plateosaurus, which is a long neck that lived in the same time, but not in the same place.
So what's the difference then? Are they that similar structure-wise?
I mean, they look pretty similar, I guess. Also, actually, I was wrong. They don't live in the same time. Plateosaurus lived 20 million years earlier, and it lived in frickin' Europe. I guess scientists were really, really wanted these baby skeletons to be adults. Like, there was a cute long neck.
There was a little one. I think that's the most human thing about all of us, is that we look at a baby animal and we go, oh, I just want to hold it.
Yeah. Honestly, I think baby humans would be a lot cuter if it weren't for the fact that we associate baby humans with responsibility.
I can see that.
If we were just looking at it from an objective standpoint, we're just an alien looking at it.
See, I feel like if baby humans were more like baby giraffes, like giraffes fall like what 7-8 feet immediately.
Yeah.
Like then I'd be fine with raising a child because I could just kind of like let it do its thing for a while.
Right. Or like, have you
Like-
seen a baby elephant figuring out it has a trunk for the first time and just kind of
Oh
waving
my
it
god,
around?
it's so cute.
Also, did you know that elephants, like adult elephants, they've found that when they look at humans, their brain reacts the same way that ours do when we look at puppies.
Oh,
They think we're cute.
that's adorable. I love that. So what you're saying is there's an alternate universe where elephants keep humans as pets.
Yeah, because we're so cute. But like now, I just think about those horrible circuses. Imagine if like a bunch of puppies abused you and took you into like
Yeah.
captivity.
Yeah, that's less than great.
Yeah, but no, just I try not to think about that. I watch those Asian elephants playing soccer with the villagers in Southeast Asia. I'm like, oh, it's like me playing with the dog right now. That's how they see it.
Do you think Mussaurus would get along with an elephant?
Oh, probably.
Do we have any like inkling of like what their temperament might have
I
been
mean,
like?
most long-necked dinosaurs were herd animals.
Mm.
Also, the fact that it was taller than the Asian elephant would mean that they probably wouldn't be eating the same leaves, which means they could coexist. They wouldn't compete against each other. So
Interesting.
yeah, look at it scientifically.
So do you think the Mussaurus would have had another prehistoric creature best friend?
Probably you, Shelby.
For the record, the Boston Terrier I am currently pet sitting.
Yes, there we go.
Brought her spiky ball to Matt and demanded that he play fetch with her.
Yeah, in terms of dinosaur best friend, I don't know. Maybe one of the meat eaters, so it could have one of the bad guys on his side. Especially if it was working with Oswald Cobblepot, it means there's a lot of dirty money going on there. So he could bribe Mussaurus could bribe one of the meat eaters to be like, okay, you don't eat me and I'll pay you, but you eat all my froze.
See, this is helping my Batman villain sidekick idea.
Okay, let's see. I'm trying to think. Herrerasaurus would have been too late for us, but they live in Argentina. Hold on, I'm going to look up to figure out this Batman comic where the Penguin, aka Oswald Cobblepot. I keep saying that because I just love his name.
That's that is a name only a mother could love.
It says Triassic. Wait, I'm confused. This thing's lying. Anyways, okay, so there's some Roigosaurus, Herrerasaurus. Okay, so Eodromius. Where are all these? Urethronator.
Sorry, what?
Urethronator? That's not what it's not. No, it's not that.
Okay.
It looks like it though. That's what came to my mind.
Gotcha. That was an adventure that I just went on, and that is disturbing.
Yeah, and Venator means hunter. So moving on. No hunting urethras here. So, Laura looks very uncomfortable, guys. So one interesting thing about Mussaurus, a few interesting things about Mussaurus before we end it here. It's one of the few long-necked dinosaurs that we have evidence of parental care.
Oh.
So that's pretty cool. And also, it walked on 2 legs rather than 4.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah, and also like humans, the young walked on all 4s while the adults walked on 2. Because as they grew, the center of mass in their bodies moved backward towards the pelvis.
Huh.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wild. Are there any other of those like long neck-esque dinosaurs that walk on 2 legs?
Well, Plateosaurus, the one I said that they confused it with. I think most of the earlier ones were 2-legged, but then like as they got bigger and more everywhere, I guess.
Yeah.
Pure permanent quadrupedal movements, only happened later. So.
Ah.
But then even then they think they could rear up, like if needed be, like the ones like Apatosaurus and the other long-tailed ones have what's called a tripod stance, where they get up on their hind legs, and then as their leg rears up, their tail keeps them balanced, like it almost is on the ground, but not quite. So like it cracks as like almost a third leg.
Like almost like a kangaroo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Yeah. So Yeah, it depends on the long neck though. Ones like Brachiosaurus, their arms are longer than their legs, which is weird for a long neck, so it couldn't rear up, even though it did in Jurassic Park. That movie you've seen.
What? I have watched every part of that movie. I actually watch it backwards.
Yeah. Oh
often.
wow.
Yeah.
No, it's like Memento.
Yeah. I think it's better that way.
Yeah. And if you watch the series backwards, you get to see Chris Pratt be in the series and then don't be in the series. So that's better that way too.
Ooh, I do enjoy that more.
Man.
What a wild dude.
I know a lot of people don't like him. I don't like some of the things he's associated with. He seems nice. I don't. I get why people.
Weird.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, he's a very funny actor.
Yeah, he seems like a goofball. I don't know.
But like, he's also now in charge of or he's like gearing up to be in charge of like a mega church.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that at all. Oh man, shame. Oh well.
Anywho.
Anyways, let's rate Mussaurus 1 out of 65 million. I give Mussaurus 3 mega churches.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
But also, I give it like 30 million now. Like,
okay.
If it was actually that baby-looking thing, but its entire life, I'd give it like 50 million. But
fair. It'd be much cuter if it was like a dwarf dinosaur.
Yeah.
Which
there are.
It...
We do have some of those.
Oh.
Yeah, they're on islands usually.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it 4.5 penguin canes.
4.5 penguin canes. Nice.
Yeah.
Did one of them get bitten off by?
Well, I think the Mussaurus. I know I just butchered that. Should have its own cane.
Yes.
Yeah.
But only has half of a cane, even though it's bigger.
Oh, of course. But a larger top hat. A much larger.
That makes
top
sense.
hat.
Bigger head. So, all right, cool. All right. Well, that's it for this week. If you want to get a hold of the show, blah, 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 blah. I've been getting to the point where I don't like saying this. Really, it's to say it too much.
Oh.
I just but I feel like I have to because I gotta pay the bills. Maybe I could just have a
It's important to self-promote.
Yeah, like I guess I could just have a recorded message afterwards.
You could.
But then I'm like, where can we find you? I can't say that if I do that. But all right, well. Okay, so you can find me at MatthewDonCreator.com. For answering the questions to any of the co-hosts, you can find me on social media at MatthewDonCreator on Facebook, at MatthewDon64 on Twitter, and MatthewDon64 on Instagram. Where can they find you?
They can find me at Thespian Laura, ThespianLaura. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm probably on other places, but
I'm on TikTok now. I've finally fallen under the TikTok wagon.
Hey, I am technically on TikTok. I do not have any views, but I have almost 100 followers.
Wow.
Well, I guess I shouldn't say views. I don't have any videos.
Oh, I have some videos.
Yeah, I have 0 videos, but I have about 100 followers. So if you want to follow me, then I think that would be really funny if I could get myself up to like 200-300 followers.
Do I follow you?
Without ever posting a video.
Right. Oh, yeah, there we go. Thespian Laura.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, yeah. Do I follow you? I think I do. Yes, I do follow you. Okay. Sometimes I'm funny. She, her. All right, cool.
See, that's my, that's how you can tell it's me. That's my bio on literally everything.
Yes, sometimes I'm funny. She, her. Okay. All right, thank you so much for listening. This is the end of every episode of Paleo Bites.
Bye.
Bye. Rawr. Rawr. Anyways, all right.